Sheriff Joe Lapinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Yo, man, it's Fred. Listen, don't forget to like and subscribe to our New Orleans Talk Network page on. Keep going. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Fred. Listen, don't forget to like our page on YouTube, FanView, Facebook, FanView, and on Twitter, FanView New Orleans.
Holla at you, man, in the app with us, and we gonna make this thing on the pop with New Orleans Talk Network. With real fans talk about real sports. And not only sports, everyday activity and life, man.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHeyOU15.
Listen, this is your boy Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFred Jones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with GSportz. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, A.K.A, and on Twitter, G_paid in full 08.
Pay me the money. money.
Well, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHeyOU15.
Listen, this is your boy Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFred Jones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with GSportz. You can follow me on Facebook.
Whoa, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome, FanView Real Fans Talk Sports New Orleans Talk Network. Listen, I'm your boy Fred. And some of y'all hosts for the night. My two co-hosts, GSportz and Coach Hurricane here, man. They out taking care of business, man. My man GSportz traveling the planet, man. My man Coach Hurricane here got spring football. They'd love to be here with me tonight, but you know, they got things going on. But we sit down, we got it for the next couple of hours, man. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about some sports, man. A lot has happened in the past week in the world of sports. We already know talk about the NBA tonight. Gotta get into it. NBA draft lottery, NBA playoffs, Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals. Gotta talk about it, man. Y'all know what I like to do before I get ready to start this show. I always give a shout and salute to the armed forces, Army, Navy, Marine, Air Force, Coast Guard, local police department, local fire department, first responders. Thank you. Shout out to you guys for much love for whatever y'all do for us in the services in this country. Thank you. Can't thank y'all enough for what y'all do for us. Also subscribe to FanView Live Review on Facebook. Subscribe to the page. Each and every Thursday we do the show from 6 to 8 p.m. Also subscribe to us on YouTube, FanView Live. Also subscribe to us on FanView Live if you're on IG, at FanView NOLA if you're on Twitter. Much to get into tonight. People who won, seen the NBA draft lottery a couple of nights ago. And we're going to open up this show with the NBA draft lottery and my New Orleans Pelicans. If y'all can see my cup, I got a brand new cup. I want to thank my lady, for getting me a brand new cup. As you can see, we got the Pelicans on here. We got the Saints on here. We turn it around. We got them Blue Devils right there. Yeah, and we got them Wolverines. Absolutely. See, y'all see my brand new cup right there. But listen, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the NBA draft lottery, folks. Again, if you're on the page, subscribe to the page, leave a comment. I'm reading all comments tonight. We got a lot to discuss, a lot to get into. The Pelicans are the official winners. Obviously, everyone knows, if you're not sleeping underneath the rock, that they won the NBA draft lottery, which makes all the sense in the world. Now, what we're seeing is a lot of commotion going on. Should AD stay? Should he want to stay? What do the Pelicans do from this point on? I would tell anybody this. The Pelicans winning an NBA draft lottery is a big deal. New Orleans gets the chance to restart over their franchise. Should the Pelicans consider keeping Anthony Davis here? Should AD and Zion play together? No. If you're David Griffin and you won that NBA draft lottery tonight, there ain't a chance in hell you asking yourself, man, I got Zion Williamson and I got Anthony Davis. How can I figure out these two players? No. Anthony Davis or Zion Williamson are going to be on the Pelicans next year. It ain't both. They don't play together. They play the same position. They both play power forward. You don't need two power forwards on the NBA roster that are going to be potential two all-star franchise players. That doesn't even sound right. I got this guy over here. He plays power forward. I got this guy here. He plays power forward. Let's have them both on the same team. No. It's one or the other. It ain't both. You don't get the first overall pick and get that generation of a talent in Zion Williamson, that box office guy, and tell yourself, man, listen, because AD wanted to be traded for the longest period of time. And say, hey, should AD want to stay? Can we make this work? Can we make sure they play together? No. Now, Mike Robichaux says this: trade for Morant, give Memphis, give Memphis the third from New York, and get Dennis Smith on Jr. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I don't know how Memphis feels about that though, Mike. I think Memphis is probably sold at the second pick and keeping Ja Morant. But I want to address the question at hand, which is, will the Pelicans keep Zion Williamson and Anthony Davis? The answer is hell to the no. You don't keep both. No, there's a zero chance you keep both. It's no, let's hold Anthony Davis to the feet to the fire. Let's figure out how he did to play with Zion Williamson. No. No. They don't play together. The Pelicans are in a prime situation. For once in the Charlotte Hornets, / Pelicans history, since they've now been the ones, have a golden opportunity. When we got this franchise from Charlotte to come to New Orleans, we had a franchise player. That guy was Baron Davis. He had nobody to play with. His best player was Jamal McGlure and Mashburn. Didn't work. We trade him off. The very next year, we get a lottery pick. We get Chris Paul. Chris Paul, best player that he's played with in the Orleans was David West. After that, Tyson Chandler. After that, Page Young. It didn't work. We trade him off to the Clippers. The very next year, we draft Anthony Davis, and he's been here 6 seasons. Anthony Davis' best player that he's played with was DeMarcus Cousins, and he's only had really 1 year to play with him. His second best player in this organization was Eric Gordon. The Pelicans have a golden opportunity with their first overall pick and having the asset of an Anthony Davis. They don't play together. You don't figure out how the two work. No. They don't play together whatsoever. This organization, since they've been down here, has had franchise player after franchise player after franchise player leave after their 6th season. That's not how we want to look at this. This is how this Pelicans franchise doesn't want to be remembered. Now, granted, we've had bad ownership. We had the George Shin. At one point in time, the NBA owned the goddamn team, for crying out loud. Let's just talk about the history of the team. Until Tom Benson bought the organization. It was a bad situation for a lot of years in the Wars because George Shin didn't want the team here. He couldn't afford to keep the team here. They had a bunch of minority owners. I remember one time, what's his face? The big time attorney down here, Morris Bart, was a minority owner at some point in time with the team. It was bad. No organization, no structure, no leadership. Tom Benson buys the team, and now Anthony Davis wanted to get out of this situation. He wants to play in a big market. You get the first overall pick. You get this freak of a nature athlete in Zion Williamson. And everyone's talking about, man, why we're not trying to keep them together. For what? You don't keep them together. They don't play together. They play the same position. Here's the truth, everybody. Anthony Davis did not sell out as great as a player he's been this organization's best player. Anthony Davis couldn't fill that arena. He filled it up occasionally when he got to the playoffs. It got filled up. But during the regular season, this team was still struggling to sell season tickets with Anthony Davis. And you get this first overall pick and you get the rights to Zion Williamson, and everyone's saying to themselves, man, that's going to be a dual situation. No. that they project this kid to be the face of the league. You think that guy needs to be playing with the guy who already believes he's the face of the league? No. He gets traded immediately. He gets out of here. They don't play together, people. For every Pelican fan who was out there who got when Pelicans were announced the first overall pick, I know what everyone was thinking. I thought the same thing. Man, should they keep them together? No. I don't. Trade. One of them will be traded. You trade one of them. Under no circumstances do you keep them together. David Griffin has a golden opportunity as a first-time GM of the New Orleans Pelicans to do something big for this organization. Something that this organization has never had. He has an opportunity to have 2 franchise players at one time. This organization in its history since it's been in New Orleans never had an opportunity to have 2 franchise guys. You got Anthony Davis and you got a Zion Williamson right now. The rights to both. I'm here to tell you that either one of those two can get you another potential franchise player. Something this organization never had. I know what people want to say. David West, was not a franchise player. All-star player, not a franchise player. Anthony Davis has never played with another franchise, another player. Boogie Cousins signed a $5 million deal with Golden State. He's not a franchise player. Just giving y'all the facts. Just giving y'all the reality. This is a golden opportunity for the New Orleans Pelicans to have 2 franchise players. The issue is, one, they both play the same position. So you got to get another one. If I'm the Pelicans, I'm moving Anthony Davis. There's no circumstances that he stays in the league. I know what everyone's thinking. Do you keep AD? Do you want to keep AD? What if you could trade Zion for LeBron? Do you keep AD? Well, is that enough to keep AD to stay? I think as fans, we have bought into Anthony Davis and what he has done for this team and what he has done for the community and for the state of New Orleans and the talent that he is. We've all bought into it. As a fan, I've bought into it. But this is not about keeping Anthony Davis in New Orleans no more. What if we could get Kevin Durant? What if you could get a Kawhi Leonard? Everyone still, as Pelican fans, still believe that how we still can keep Anthony Davis in New Orleans. That's everyone's. This is the only conversation I've been having with everybody who since I've been talking to about this pick. Y'all let me know. Leave your comments down at the bottom. And I'm just the only one tripping. Everyone was still trying to find a way to keep Anthony Davis in New Orleans. You got Zion now. Maybe what if you could trade for LeBron James? Do you keep Anthony Davis in New Orleans? No. What if you could get Kevin Durant? Do you keep Zion? Do you want to keep Anthony Davis in New Orleans? No. I can't think of a scenario where you want to keep now Anthony Davis in New Orleans, especially how the second half of the season ended. The way he acted towards the organization, that's not a guy you want to keep in your uniform. Now, granted, I understand he wants to win. Don't take that off the table. But it was how he displayed himself publicly against the organization. When you put a microphone in front of his face, the things he said, that's not a guy you're trying to keep. You honor his wishes. You get him out of Dodge. And you embrace Zion Williamson. I know a lot of y'all sitting out here thinking there was reports out there saying about Zion Williamson, or he can go back to Duke. He hasn't signed an agent. Oh, man. If you're Zion Williamson, don't go to New Orleans. Go back to Duke. Don't enter this NBA draft. Let me answer all those speculations right now for anybody who's tuning in. That's the stupidest thing I've heard. A kid of that caliber, what is there else to gain by going back to Duke? You can right now arguably get the highest reported shoe deal of your of anybody, possibly a higher shoe deal than LeBron James, because he signed a $90 million deal when he came out of high school from Nike. You could probably get a higher deal than that and be the first overall pick. What other value do you get by going back to Duke? Because those have been the reports for the past couple of days. Should Zion go back to Duke or just not play basketball the next year? Because why come to New Orleans? Because the history of the Pelicans and how they had with franchise players, and after 6 seasons, they all left. Baron Davis left, Chris Paul's left, now Anthony Davis is going to be leaving. And that kid should say that, and everyone's advising who's been in media saying that kid should not go there. What? What other more value can you get? How high a value can you become? What more value is higher than the first overall pick? What more value is signing probably the richest shoe deal coming, for an NBA player coming out of high school / college? Potentially. All not to play in New Orleans? Come on, man. Stop that. Stop that. I know that's been the ruckus around town. People have been making that statement. It's the business first. You can't tell nobody, say, man, listen, Zion shouldn't go play with the Pelicans. He should just hold out, play with the NBA national team, and go back to Duke for free. And not get a quarter? Not get paid? Just not to go to New Orleans? Deny yourself to being the first overall pick? To go back to college? There's no financial sense in Zion Williamson not staying in the NBA draft. I need to make that very clear. There is a zero financial benefit to Zion not going back to college. Zero. There's nothing else you gain more. There's no leverage. The biggest sneaker deal is waiting for you. The highest value pick is waiting for you. There's nothing else to gain. If the New Orleans Pelicans select you with the first overall pick, they select you. You come to New Orleans. A high nutritionist real fast because we got real good food down here. I don't know how food they got in South Carolina / North Carolina. But down here, this is the best food you can taste in your damn life on the goddamn planet. You need to get a nutritionist fast, boy. You're growing. You're a growing kid. Jamal Crow said, I'd rather trade AD for the third pick in pieces. Get RJ Barrett and play with Zion. Keep Drew. Let Randall walk and pick up some key vets. I like that idea too. Listen, I'm going to take my first break. Y'all stay tuned, FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. When we get back, we'll talk about Anthony Davis and what the Pelicans should do with Anthony Davis. What trade scenarios we can talk about. Because I made this position real clear. Trade Anthony Davis. But when we get back, leave your comments in the comments box. Let's talk about where can Anthony Davis go. What are some trade scenarios the Pelicans should do. Y'all going to know where we'll be back in the next minute and a half.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports, New Orleans Talk Network. Listen, I see my cup, man. I see my Pelicans. Thanks. That Blue Duke Devils, Michigan Wolverines, FanView Live. Listen, subscribe to the page, FanView Live on Facebook, man. We do this show each and every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m., man. We sit down, we chop it up about sports. We still talking New Orleans Pelicans right now, and Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson. I want to read a comment from Jerome Wilson. Jerome Wilson says this: AD ain't box office. He takes some games off and is injured a lot and plays with no passion or excitement. Just his stats and his L's, and that's it. Jerome Wilson. Again, I'm down here in New Orleans. AD, I will agree with you. AD isn't box office. He's done some things for the Smoothie King Center, and when it came playoff time, when they made the playoffs, because I remember when they played the Golden State Warriors in Game 3. That game was the most sold out the Smoothie King has ever been. When they lost Game 3 in the Smoothie King Center to the Golden State Warriors. And Steph Curry hit that three to go to overtime, and they lost the game. Also, Game 4 was packed. When they played Portland last year, the Smoothie King Center was packed. But I would agree with you. When it came to regular season, because I'm down here in New Orleans, Anthony Davis didn't sell out arenas. He was on pace. He did some great things for the city of New Orleans. He's done some great things for the Pelicans organization. But did he sell out the arena immediately? No, he did not. So Jerry Wilson, I would agree with you on that part. When it came playoff time, that's when he really did that. Now, Burt Grant says, no, Fred, AD is out and he don't want to play for y'all. I said that. AD is getting traded. I would not keep Anthony Davis in a Pelican uniform. It's Zion Williamson, and you figure out what to put around him. Now, as a GM of David Griffin, you have an opportunity now to do something that no other GM or no other situation has been for the Pelicans, which is the opportunity to have 2 stars. If I'm the Pelicans right now, Anthony Davis got 4 destinations: Milwaukee, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and New York. That's his main 4 destinations. Right now, the team that has the best value for you is the New York Knicks. David Griffin, you got to be doing all your homework right now. You got to be talking to Mike Krzyzewski all day long. You got to be talking to Nolan Smith and John Schott. You need to figure out the relationship between R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson and what their relationship was like at Duke. See, we see things on the court, and they look like they play well together. But you need to know, are they good buddies? Are they good friends? The New York Knicks have the best value for the Pelicans. I know a lot of times leading up to this point, we all wanted to make the comment of, do a lot of teams have better value. But right now, the New York Knicks is the front runner to have Anthony Davis. Now, Antonio Porter says this: I feel like Boston offers us the best trade assets as far as talent and youth. We draft Zion, trade AD to Boston for Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and picks. Here's the thing. That sounded great prior to having the rights to Zion Williams. Zion Williamson, the talent that you see in that Duke, is a guy that he plays out in transition. That's where he gets a lot of his highlight plays. He likes to play in transition, up and down the court. But for the most part, in the NBA, in their half-court setting, Zion Williamson is going to play by the rim. He's going to play near within 10 feet. He's going to get rebounds there. He's going to get putbacks there. That's what he's going to play when you play a half-court set. But when he's out on the floor, he's going to play out in transition. I have nothing against Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Marcus Smart is a heck of a defender, and he's a knockdown shooter from behind the arc. But Boston doesn't have the best assets anymore for the New Orleans Pelicans to be a better team, because Jaylen Brown is an athletic player. He's a good defensive player, but kind of iffy on a shooter. Jason Tatum is not a good shooter. He's a good guy. He's a good scorer. He can get to the rim. And I don't want to surround anybody really with Zion Williamson who's not a good shooter. I think one of the things that when you look at Zion Williamson and look at the potential of what he can become, the guys you put around Zion Williamson got to be shooters. They got to be Kyle Korver-like. Not to say that, Kyle Korver is a Hall of Famer by any means. What I'm saying is he's going to need shooters for the half-court set. getting Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is not going to help the development of Zion Williamson. Because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are still trying to figure out, are they all-star players? This is one of the biggest reasons why they left. That means that they lost to Milwaukee, because Kyrie Irving is taking up all the ball, and those two guys are still trying to figure out how did they fit in. They come play with Zion Williamson. It's the same situation now. They're still going to try to be figuring out how they fit in. How does Jason Tatum fit in? How does Jaylen Brown fit in? It sounds good on paper, but I don't think that's the best situation. But prior to getting the first overall pick, I would agree with that. You trade Anthony Davis to Boston, they have the best assets. But now that you have a rights to Zion Williamson, I don't think they're a better fit to play with that guy. They still trying to figure out their all-star players. And I don't want anybody on the team bringing in that's a young guy, especially 2 or 3 years in the NBA, that thinks that they have a higher ceiling than him. I don't want to bring Jason Tatum in because Jason Tatum believes in his mind, the way his skill set is, that he has a higher ceiling than Zion. That's not somebody I want on the team. That's just me speaking. Right now, I think the best offer, you trade Anthony Davis, you contact the New York Knicks, you want the 3rd overall pick, you get Kevin Knox out the deal. From what I read in reports, the New York Knicks have 7 picks over the past 5 years. I need 3 of them. Not only they're all first-round picks, I just need maybe 2 first-round picks in the second. And I need Dennis Smith Jr. That's what I need. And you can have Anthony Davis and no getting haircut Solomon Hill. You ship them off to New York. I know a lot of people thinking, what's up with the Lakers? Do the Lakers still have a shot? Antonio Porter said, I feel where you're coming from. I appreciate it, man. Mike Robichaux said, did you trade Drew Holiday? Yes. You do trade Drew Holiday. As bad as this sounds, I think that you sit down, you have a real consultation with Drew Holiday. There's nothing wrong with Drew Holiday's skill set. Nothing wrong with Drew Holiday as a professional, as a player. He's a great two-way player around the NBA. He's a great shooting guard. There's nothing wrong with Drew Holiday by any means. The thing you got to keep into understanding that this is a rebuild. Complete rebuild. And if Drew Holiday is not the person that, if you, after talking with Drew Holiday, if he's not gonna buy in to what the direction of the team is, because this team is about to start being run by a bunch of 19 and 20-year-olds, okay? You trade Anthony Davis to New York and you get R.J. Barrett and Kevin Knox and Dennis Smith Jr. and a couple of picks. This team is being led by a bunch of 19 and 20-year-olds. And Drew Holiday is 28. If Drew Holiday is not going to buy into the fact that these young guys are going to start getting more shots than him, and he's not going to buy into the situation and the role, then you trade Drew Holiday. And it's not that he's a bad player. It's just that the team is being run by a bunch of 20-year-olds. You know? Antonio Porter says, great chance for RJ and Zion reunion. Drew Holiday is a great trade asset. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to do? Listen. After trading AD to the New York Knicks, that's my trade scenario. There's no chance in hell that I'm talking to the Lakers. The Lakers don't have the pieces that I need to play around Zion Williamson. Don't sell me Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, and Lonzo Ball. No. I don't want them in New Orleans by any means. But as far as Drew Holiday is concerned, I would trade Drew Holiday to the Miami Heat. Give me Josh Richardson and give me Gordon Dragic. And you probably trade a second-round pick off. That's what I would want in return. And it's not because they're better players than Drew Holiday by any means. They're just shooters. Josh Richardson averaged 16 points this past year in the NBA. Gordon Dragic could get to the lane, but he's really a good outside shooter. They are both really good shooters. Gordon Dragic will probably start for you at point guard, possibly if you don't get Dennis Smith Jr. out of the trade from New York. New York may hold, kind of firm on that. They don't let him go. But you definitely need Kevin Knox. You need a 3rd overall pick and a couple of draft picks for sure. You trade Drew Holiday to Miami. You get Gordon Dragic and you get Josh Richardson. 2 shooters that, when you put Zion Williamson underneath the paint, no one's going to be coming down there to take up space for him. You want him to have a place to play. That's what I'm talking about. People looking at the situation and saying to themselves, man, what do? You want shooters around Zion. You give me R.J. Barrett. Give me Kevin Knox. Give me Gordon Dragic. When you trade Drew Holiday, if you trade him to Miami. Give me Josh Richardson. And plus, you still have Julius Randle. If he decides to opt in his $9 million deal, which I don't think he should do. I think Julius Randle had a heck of a year when AD was out. I think he should opt out and go get paid. But if Julius Randle opts in, this is a good team. And R.J. Barrett and Zion leading the way. Those will be your two cornerstones of your franchise. Everyone else builds around them. This is why I would not trade with the Boston Celtics. Because those two guys in Jalen Brown are still trying to figure out their all-star. They believe their ceilings are higher than R.J. Barrett and Zion Williamson. And rightfully so. They should feel that way. Keep them right where they at in Boston. Antonio Porter says, no guarantee Brandon Ingram can continue to play. Lonzo Ball, garbage. Kuzma is the only good player, so I agree. No talks with the Lakers. I'm done talking to the Lakers. Lakers out. You take your 4th overall pick, and you, as much as I love some LeBron James, y'all figure it out. Here's what you have to understand. You are trying to put a team together. This is a rebuild. The first year, it's about figuring out how Zion Williamson plays the game of basketball at the pro level and where does he need to play at in space. And if you trade AD to New York, what R.J. Barrett's skill set is at the pro level, and can he become an all-star caliber player next to Zion Williamson? That is the first year of a business. You win 30 games, and you put shooters around here. That's why I say you trade Drew Holiday to Miami, and you're going to Gordon Dragic and Josh Richardson. Shooters. You win 30 games. Right now, the Pelicans situation is you're trying to see if you can be better than the Sacramento Kings. You're not trying to be competitive with the Houston Rockets or the Golden State Warriors or the Denver Nuggets right now. You're not trying to compete with them. No. You're competing right now with the Sacramento Kings, and you're competing to be better than the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's your competition. You get better than them, you're doing good for yourself with those kind of young cornerstone guys. But outside of that, no, not at all. That's your mission. That's what you're trying to do. You're not trying to do anything different from that caliber. Anything different from that, you're setting yourself backwards. You got to know your plan. You got to know your direction. You got to know where you're going. This team is going to be made up of a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds for the most part, with some spotty veterans here and there. And the veterans don't really come to about year 3. When they've proven that, when R.J. Barrett has proven that if you trade him with the Knicks and get the 3rd overall pick, if you come down here in New Orleans, when R.J. Barrett has proven that, man, I can score 20, 25 points in this league. When Zion Williams said, man, listen, I can score 25, give me 12 rebounds down here, be a great defender. When those guys are proven in the NBA that they're like that, they're top 25 players, this is when you start putting veteran pieces around them. A backup veteran point guard like how the Golden State Warriors have in Sean Livingston. You start getting players like that, the Andre Iguodala-like players, to come to New Orleans. And you don't have to overpay for those guys. Now, Mike Robichaud said this. Pelicans have a lot of cap room this year. Ms. Benson said they would dip in that luxury tax. Could they try to get a point guard like Kemba Walker? I wouldn't get Kemba Walker. Antonio Porter says, not to mention Frank Jackson, another Duke guy, started coming on late for the Pelicans. As you stated, he's better 20. That's a fact. Frank Jackson's on the team. Yeah. Get that guy some minutes. Chuck Diago, get that guy a few more minutes. Yeah. You still got another Duke guy on this team in Jahlil Okafor. This team be made up of Blue Devils, baby. We'll call them the New Orleans Blue Devils in a minute. Zion, Frank, Jahlil. You get R.J. Barrett. Yeah. That's what we're going to start calling them. But no, you don't. to Mike Robichaux's point, do you go out here and you get Jaleel or do you get a Kemba Walker? No, you don't. Kemba Walker scores by the rim. He's an attacker. He's kind of like Drew Holiday to a lot of degrees. He plays the game hard, but he gets to the rim too much. You don't want a guy who attacks the rim to play around Zion Williamson at the pro level. You want guys who can shoot because he needs a place to operate. Zion Williamson to be an effective pro player is going to kind of be like, look at Milwaukee and look at Giannis. That team, he's surrounded by shooters. Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe, Nikola Mirotic, Tony Snell. Those guys are playing away from the basket. Robin Lopez out there hitting three. He hit 4 threes last night to steal game 1 against Toronto. The only guy attacking the rim in Milwaukee is Giannis. Shooters around him. Kemba Walker isn't a great shooter. He's a great scorer. He can get to the rim. He can do a lot of different things. Don't get me wrong. When he scores, he can shoot when he's playing isolation basketball and live off a pick and roll, but he's not a great shooter. Like, if you can't get that, I would trade Drew Holiday to Washington and get Bradley Beal. That's the kind of shooter I'm talking about. Like, if you can't get Gordon Dragic, take Drew Holiday and you contact the Washington Wizards and say, listen, dog, let me have Bradley Beal. A shooter. That's what you want around Zion Williamson. Because in a half-court game, teams are going to do certain things to limit his athleticism, limit his, strengths. So in order for him to operate, he's going to need spacing. Need shooters for that, buddy. I'm with you, Todd, man. Listen. Love the Pelicans, diehard fan. I'm a diehard fan too, man. And don't forget about, I ain't forget about Jahlil Okafor. Saints are Ohio of the South, and the Pelicans are full of Duke players. Those are the facts. As you can see, but I'm a diehard Michigan fan. So that was Ohio State right there. My cup would probably be somewhat complete. The Pelicans are full of Duke fans, full of Duke players, and my Saints are full of actually Ohio State players. Kind of crazy how my cup symbolizes that to some capacity. So that's my take on this. LeBron James, I know he didn't sign up for what's going on in LA, but there's no particular chance right now that I will consider trading Anthony Davis directly straight to the Lakers. Like, it wouldn't be a two-team deal. Like, if it's still a 3-team deal and you can still get shooters out of it, like again, if the Lakers are able to get like a team like the Phoenix Suns involved in the deal, and you could get a Josh Jackson and a Devin Booker in New Orleans around Zion, then by all means. But I don't want them players that the Lakers have. I don't want Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, or Lonzo Ball in a Pelican uniform. Don't need them. Just don't need them. Yeah, Buddy was a good shooter. Buddy was a very, very good shooter for the Pelicans. But the Pelicans right now are in the driver's seat to do something they've never done before, which is have 2 potential franchise guys on the roster at the same time. And they can have 2 guys in their youth. If you trade with the New York Knicks, you can draft an R.J. Barrett, and you can have because a lot of people feel, and I said this on this show way before throughout the season, I think that R.J. Barrett has a higher ceiling than Zion. The difference is Zion is the most athletic freak of nature that we've seen come drafted, that's going to be drafted into the NBA. We have not seen an athlete like that drafted into the NBA yet. We haven't. R.J. Barrett has the best skill set of this draft, him and Ja Morant. But the athleticism and freak of nature, we have not seen that like Zion. Zion is that. You get a Zion Williamson, I'm here to tell you right now, I told a lot of people before the NBA draft lottery happened, I hope you got your discount Pelican tickets. Them people are about to get a high pick. And when they got the first overall pick, I'm here to tell you right now, the season tickets from the club section that was only $300, they just skyrocketed. I hope you got your tickets. Them numbers went through the roof. I bet you if you try to call the Pelicans front office on Wednesday, the people told you, yeah, I want the same ticket for $3.5. People I told you $1,000. Got to come up. Triple them out. Like that. Josh Jackson was just locked up, so don't do that. Yeah, you're right about that. He, getting the rest, he bad all over. But if you could get a Devin Book, if you do a 3-team trade, you trade Anthony Davis, he finds his way to LA, it can't be a straight deal. I keep telling y'all, Brandon Ingram is a Duke alum. NBA, his skill set is limited. He's just a starter. Kyle Kuzma, I think he gets the publicity and that he gets because he is playing for the Lakers. And Lonzo Ball is just overrated. I don't need none of them in New Orleans. None of them. To me, when I see Alonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, and Brandon Ingram, to me, they ought to reach their peak. They ought to reach their ceiling. They can't get any better than what you see. What you see from those guys, you see. They are not getting any better. Now, John Roberts said this. The national sports media tried to get Zion to go back to Duke. It's a shame, and thank God he has good support system around him, and they can guide him in the right direction. Like I said, how can a guy of that caliber go back to Duke? Let me explain this one to you, because this is a business first. You are ordained to be the first pick in the NBA draft. There is no higher value than that. Okay? You have the opportunity right now to sign a higher shoe deal coming out of high school or college. The guy who signed the biggest one was LeBron James. And you may have a higher endorsement deal coming out of school. What other freaking benefit does Duke serve you? Go back to Duke for what? To play basketball for free? Like, in order to go back to Duke, there has to be leverage. What leverage or what more do you gain by going back? His game don't get better at Duke. His endorsement ain't gonna increase. He can't get no higher than the first overall goddamn pick. All that to not play for the New Orleans Pelicans? Come on, man. You crazy? This man played his whole life of basketball to go do that, to make that decision? To go pull an Eli Manning? Or to go out there and pull a John Elway and say, I'm just going to go back to Stanford. I'm going to just sit out. To do that? Come on, man. It's crazy. It's foolishness. There's no way. There's no way. There was a 0% chance that was going to happen. To go back to college. Turn on the biggest endorsement deal that a pro basketball athlete can sign, possibly come out of college. To be the first overall pick. To get what other value? What other value is waiting for you? A different team? Because you're not going to be a New York Knick? Boy, you crazy? Go to New Orleans. And Mike Rose says, you right about Kimba. Kimba needs to, we need to find a point guard. Again, the Pelicans need to find a point guard who can distribute the basketball. But this kid, Zion Williamson, plays in space. He's out in transition. He gets up and goes. Or he's going to play by the rim. You can't have a point guard in here trying to get to the lane to score. If you got a point guard you're trying to get into the lane to score, that's not going to be a good fit for Zion Williamson. This is why Trey Jones was so good for Duke. Because Trey Jones was not trying to play around the rim. Getting the ball around, getting the basketball to certain players. Getting the ball to R.J. Barrett, getting the ball to Cam Reddish, getting the ball to Zion Williamson in the paint. You never see Trey Jones trying to beat somebody to dribble and get to the paint. No, Zion on it. He needs space. That's how that's going to go. And that's just how I see it. I don't see it anything different. This kid is out in transition basketball player. He's above the rim. He's going to play around the rim kind of player. You don't need guys who are great NBA players, but you don't need guys trying to play by the rim. That's going to be his job. You need shooters. That's why I said you trade for Gordon Dragic and Josh Richardson. You trade Drew Holiday. Or you trade Drew Holiday to the Washington Wizards and you get a Bradley Beal. Somebody who can get to the rim and score, but somebody who's also known for shooting. But to have a guy who just got to get to the rim to do most of his scoring, that's not what you want around Zion Williamson. Now, Antonio says, it was going to be a story for him not being happy if it's called either the Knicks or anyone. Man, stepfather already said he is listed as the Pelicans as one of the teams to start off his career. Media always find a way to make this shit up. That's a fact. It's foolish. It's foolish for people to sit there and believe that kid would consider going back to Duke. Duke gonna pay an endorsement deal. Duke gonna write him a check for $100 million. He's gonna probably sign he gonna probably get a 10% increase by being the first overall pick than what DeAndre Ayton got. Is Duke gonna write that check? To go play for a school that could possibly get him some more shoes that he can bust out of? Y'all foolish. People crazy, man. Mike Rober said Rondo would be great. Rondo wouldn't be a bad fit. Rondo would not be a bad fit. Now, my boy Adam says, I'm mad because I wanted tickets and they're high. That's the fact. Them tickets are high. Them tickets are high giraffe nuts. Zion had to get that pick. Boy, what? Season tickets went through the roof, boy. You should have got them tickets. You should have got them tickets soon as the season was over. Them season tickets are high giraffe nuts now. Zion's going to sell out the Smoothie King Center. I'm here to tell you right now, the first game Zion Williamson comes played in the Smoothie King Center, I'm here to tell you right now, it's going to be mania. Every media circus is going to be down here for that game. Especially if they make the deal with the New York Knicks to get R.J. Barrett. I'm here to tell you right now, they're going to sell out the ring like that's all I do. They're going to sell it out. That kid is box office. He is box office. He's going to sell out the Smoothie King Center. Listen, I'm telling you, he's going to sell out this place. It's not even going to be close. Now, how fast he's going to sell this place? Now, John Robertson, do you think Zion has the ceiling of LeBron James? Man, that's a great question. Great question. Zion Williamson has a freak of nature about him. But to answer your question, no. And here's the reason why. LeBron James, when he came into the NBA, was a better basketball player. I think, here's the thing with LeBron. LeBron James is one of the best athletes I've seen play sports. Not just basketball. I'm talking about sports. Football, basketball, tennis, soccer, whatever. LeBron James is one of the best athletes to play sports. And for basketball, he had a higher IQ than Zion Williamson for the game of basketball. Like LeBron James came in the NBA, people don't understand that he started off with the Cleveland Cavaliers playing point guard. That was his first year in the NBA. He was the point guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers. That guy was able to play one. LeBron James can play the one position and be the best in the world, the two position and be the best in the world, the number 3 position in the NBA, the wing, and be the best in the world, and play power forward and be the best in the world. Zion Williamson ain't got that kind of ceiling. I need us to really understand something about LeBron James. We're probably not going to see that again. Now, I know a lot of times as fans, we want to contribute to the fact that, did he win the NBA championship or did not win the championship? And that's how you want to look at the legacy of LeBron James. I'm talking about the basketball player. When you look at the game of basketball, we may not ever see that again. You know how many players it's going to take to combine to equal up to what that guy was able to do for the game of basketball? We may not see that again. May not see it. So no, Zion Williamson don't have the ceiling of LeBron James. His ceiling is Giannis. What Giannis became or what Giannis is becoming, he has an equal ceiling of Giannis. But he's a better athlete. Zion is a kind of a longer player, but he's not a better. But Zion is more of a freak of nature. But they have a similar ceiling. What about Michael Conley? Conley is a good situation. Michael Conley is not a bad player. It's gonna be. I think Michael Conley gets traded by the trade deadline. I don't think he's a player that gets traded immediately out of Memphis. I think a destination for Conley, as bad as it sounds, I think a team like a Utah Jazz, San Antonio Spurs, teams of that nature. Actually, it just sounds crazy, but if Conley actually went to Oklahoma City Thunder and they moved Westbrook to the 2, but they'll have to do that very early, and they'll have to buy in that what the Westbrook is not a point guard anymore, but he's a scorer, then that's not a bad situation. But Russell Westbrook is the IQ of him is just it's gone. He's not a great IQ basketball player, he's just a great athlete. But no, I don't see Conley in the Pelicans. I think Conley goes to a team like Utah, someone like that. Teams like, if you're looking at the East, a team like Toronto. I don't think Kyle Lowry at the quarter. But nah, Conley has a lot of fits, but not fit for New Orleans. But great player though, great player. But listen up, guys. Listen, we're gonna take our next break. Y'all don't go nowhere. When we get back, we gotta talk James Harden and the legacy of James Harden. What's the legacy like now? And we're gonna talk a little Western Conference final because we got game 2 tonight between Golden State and the Portland Trail Blazers. Y'all stay tuned. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. Don't go nowhere. Be right back in about a minute.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Well, what's up, everybody? This is boy Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayo15.
Listen, this is your boy Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFred Jones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with GSportz. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, A.K.A, and on Twitter, G_paid in full 08.
Pay me the money. money.
Are you looking for a home to live stream?
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. Listen, subscribe to the FanView Live page. If you subscribe to the page, man, listen, we appreciate it. Listen, man, we do this sports show each and every Thursday by 6 to 8 p.m. My 2 co-hosts are with me tonight. They got a lot going on right now with them. My boy Coach Hurricane here. They're doing spring football. And my man GSportz. It's also got a lot going on right now. Traveling all around. I want to get into the Houston Rockets. The stream still up? It's still up on YouTube. Okay. I want to talk James Harden. James Harden, as people know already, didn't win the division round against the Golden State Warriors. Had a game 6 in the Toyota Center, and the Houston Rockets came up short. They lost. I really want to talk the legacy of James Harden right now, and what is his legacy going forward. Obviously, we know that he pitched down his leg in the game 6 against San Antonio a few years back, and Kawhi Leonard didn't even play in that game. He was 3 for 10, only had 10 points. Last year, they lost the game 7 against the Golden State Warriors, where they missed 27 consecutive threes in the game 7 without Chris Paul. This year, Game 6, in a Toyota Center, he had a heck of a game, scoring 35 points. Chris Paul had the best game of the series, 27-some points. Even Clint Capella was trying to get some rebounds, get some points. Still trying to contribute in a very dominant way. But they lost. Stephen Curry didn't have a point in the first half. 33 in the second half. I know this subject is kind of watered down, but we got to talk James Harden and the legacy. This guy could be arguably a 2-time league MVP, and he can't get it done. The Houston Rockets, where do you go from here? I think James Harden's legacy is going to be one of those brands that it's not going to be tainted, but it's going to be like Peyton Manning-ish. A dominant regular season player. Come postseason, it's a like during the regular season, you're gonna look at Peyton, you're gonna look at James Harden and say, man, he could be my best player. He's top 5. And then when you get to playoffs, you're gonna start looking at the style of play of James Harden, and you start asking yourself, is he gonna be dominant? And you don't know. You just don't know. So I'm a big advocate of this when it comes to James Harden and his legacy. I think his legacy is going to be arguably top 5 shooting guards when it's all said and done, when he finished playing the game. But it's going to look bad because he couldn't get to the NBA Finals with him being the team's best player. He's gonna be seen as a player, man. That guy can score. He can create, create fouls against him. He can do so much. One of the best scorers of his generation. But overall, when you look at James Harden, you're gonna say to yourself, when it came postseason time, when he was the best player for his team melted down like the Sacramento Kings. Irregardless of his scoring production, the team didn't achieve greatness. They haven't played in the NBA Finals when he was the team's best player. He's about to go into his 8th season he's about to go into his 8th season in Houston. And that team has played in 2 Western Conference Finals. It is what it is. It's tough. It's going to be tough for him and that team to really get over the hump and really get to a point where can James Harden be the team's best player when he is on the floor in the postseason. I think his legacy as a regular season player is going to be one of the best regular season guys we've seen play the game. Come postseason, he's not in the top 25. His team played very similar to the Sacramento Kings. Came playoff time. Couldn't get over the hump. And I don't think it's all James Harden's fault. I think that Mike D'Antoni needs to take a lot of credit for this team's loss. I think Mike D'Antoni needs to really take accountability for what's taking place in Houston come postseason. That team was down 2 NBA All-Stars, and they couldn't win. They couldn't win a Game 6 matchup at home. That team didn't have a Boogie Cousins to play the series. That team didn't have what people want to call the best player in the world, like Kevin Durant. And they went into Houston and won a game. To me, that's just absurd. It's just absurd. And I know people don't want to say that, and people don't want to feel that way, but that's just the truth. That's just the truth when you start looking at the dynamics of the Houston Rockets. I just can't do it. But that also goes to the credit of Steve Kerr and what he's done for the Golden State Warriors. They're in the Western Conference Finals. KD is still out. They managed to win a game 1 against the Portland Trail Blazers, and they got game 2 tonight without Kevin Durant. So a lot of James Harden's woes and losses are gonna come down to, was he coached the best? Like, did he have the best system to succeed? A lot of isolation basketball in that game 6, when you look at the game, not a lot of ball movement. A lot of one pass isolation down the stretch, and Houston comes up short. Couldn't get a game 7 when Golden State was continuously moving the ball to 3 or 4 players. That's what it comes down to. And the Houston Rockets need to do something better for James Harden. If you're going to have a bunch of isolation plays for him come postseason, then he's going to need somebody a little better than him. Now, there ain't that many players in the NBA that are totally better than him. I think this should be in a big-time recruitment for Kevin Durant come this offseason. I know everyone's nailed him to, hey, he's going to New York. But I think Houston needs to make their biggest pitch of their life. And if that means doing a sign and trade with a whatever to get him into Houston, I think that's what you need to do. Because this team right now, as it sits, it's not going. It has reached its peak. Now, I'm not saying James Harden has reached his peak. I think what you see for him as a basketball player has reached his peak. What you see for him as a scorer has reached his peak. There's no getting better for James Harden. The question is it the right system, or does he have enough players to get over the hump? But him as a whole has reached his capacity. He's reached his peak. He's not going anywhere. That's just not how that works. He's not getting any better. He's going to average 30-plus points. He can get you 8 assists. He's going to get you 5 or 6 rebounds and know he's a great defensive player. That's the map. The question is now, what else better can James Harden, what else can be put around James Harden for him to be successful? That's the trigger. And if they can't solve that problem, then it's not going to matter. It's just not going to matter. It's just not going to matter. I know people want to believe something different or, that's not going to be the case. I know what people think. Can it get better? Can it be better? No. Chris Paul ain't getting no better. Eric Gordon ain't getting no better. PJ Tucker ain't getting no better. The guys that are cornerstones for the team, they have reached their limit. They have reached their playing peak. You're going to need something to get you over the hump. And right now, it's not what you have. I know what people are thinking, but that's just the truth. We're on YouTube right now, y'all. Craig says a lot of Pelican fans want to compete, trying to tell them it doesn't work like that. I agree. Now, Joseph also said, keep AD and Zion. Joseph, no. You don't keep both of them in New Orleans. You just don't. But that's James Harden's legacy, man. James Harden's legacy is going to be a great regular season scorer, possibly a 2-time MVP, leading scoring champ for the 2000s, for his teens, for the 21st century. To me, the NBA's best scorer. He has the most points scored from any player. You're looking at it from 2012 up to now. No other player in the NBA has scored more points than him. But scoring points isn't the only thing that wins basketball games. And that's where his legacy is going to come to. When it comes to scoring, you're like, man, James Harden was it. And he can even distribute. But after that, you're going to be like, that was it. That's all you can do. Score with the best of them. That's the legacy. You need 30? Harden give you 30. You need 7 assists with it? Harden give you 7 assists with it. Can I get some defense? Well, I actually did too much. Can we get some rebounds? Asking a little too much. Can we ask him to defend his guy at least? Too much. Asking for a little too much there. Can't do all that. Can't do all that. He goes like that. That's the job for the other teammates. That's the job for the other players. That's not Harden. But on to Golden State. They're playing right now in the Western Conference Finals against Portland. One game won. And give credit to Golden State, man, for still being able to play at a high level without Kevin Durant. And the thing that always gets me is how people, as fans, that we do this. This team was able to win. Let me just say this. Now again, guys, if you're on YouTube right now, man, subscribe to the page on YouTube. We're on the Walls Talk Network YouTube page. Get on YouTube, sign in, leave your comments. I'm reading a lot of comments here right now. Let's keep it a band. Let's just stick with the facts. The facts are, I don't see how people can think that Kevin Durant is the best in the world when the team that he's playing on was able to close out, to me, the second best team in the remaining in the entire playoffs, and goes into the Western Conference Finals and wins a game. And if they could win tonight again in Oracle, these people would have won 3 consecutive NBA playoff games, but arguably the best player in the world. Now, when have we seen that? When the best player in the world goes down and the team can win possibly 3 consecutive games in a row. A closeout game in the divisional round, on the road, and the first 2 at home. How can that guy be the best in the world? When have we seen that in sports? We ain't talking about just the best on his team. It's about he's been called the best in the world. But his team can still be successful and win playoff games. I've never watched this. I'm here to tell y'all right now. When Magic was on the Lakers, when he was called being the best in the world, the Lakers couldn't win that many games without Magic. When Michael Jordan was the best in the world, the Bulls couldn't win many playoff games without Jordan. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think when I'm watching, I think this team, if Kevin Durant don't play this entire series, I think this team can make it to the finals. The Lakers couldn't have made a championship when Shaquille O'Neal was there. And could just miss games, and they had a young Kobe. They wouldn't have won. They couldn't have won possibly 3 consecutive games. We wouldn't have saw that. Because Shaq was the best in the world. When Tim Duncan was getting those Spurs teams to the championships in his earlier years, Tim Duncan couldn't have just missed games, playoff games, and the San Antonio Spurs were just going to win playoff games. Shit, the San Antonio Spurs couldn't win a game against the Golden State Warriors when Kawhi Leonard went down. I don't understand how a team can have the best player in the world but still win playoff games. Important playoff games. We ain't talking about, oh, they beat the 8th seed, they were the 1 seed. I'm talking about they're in the conference finals. They win it. Don't give me this, they're playing Portland. Portland made the conference finals. Stop trying to give this guy an excuse for being the best player in the world. The team is winning games, playoff games, divisional round games, closeout games, conference finals games. Why not the best player in the world? Let me know if the Lakers could have won 3 consecutive playoff games in the late the 09 year, 2010 year when the Lakers went to the finals. I'm gonna wait. And Kobe Bryant wasn't playing. We're gonna leave it at the Paul Gasol and Lamar Odom and Derek Fisher and stuff like that. Let me know if the Lakers would have won games. No. I'm going to tell y'all right now, the Miami Heat wouldn't win in games if LeBron James would have been injured. They wouldn't win no lot of games like that. But KD can miss games with the Golden State Warriors, still be called the best in the world. And they can, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Now, they got game 2 tonight. And again, I want to address that, a lot of people have inboxed me and what I thought about, this series. And, what do I think, Damian Lillard has, become, a top 10 player. What do I think of CJ McCollum? Is he a top 5, lead shooting guard in this league? And I would say this. Damian Lillard has stepped up this playoffs tremendously. Is CJ McCollum a top 5 shooting guard in this league? I think he is. Obviously, there's 2 elite guys, Klay Thompson and James Harden. After that, you start looking at, it starts to shrink a little bit. You got players like Victor Oladipo. You got players like Devin Booker. You got players like CJ McCollum, Bradley Beal. They all play shooting guard in the NBA. Donovan Mitchell plays shooting guard in the NBA. Heck of a shooting guard in the NBA. But the shooting guard position is starting to kind of not be a dominant position like when we watched him when we were younger fans, like the Kobe Bryants, the Tracy McGrady's, the Dwayne Wade, very dominant Hall of Fame like players. That second tier of shooting guards in the NBA is not, most of them are not all-star caliber. They're great players, but they're not dominant all-star caliber players, so it's kind of tough. But CJ McCollum, to me, is right at 5 when you're looking at shooting guards in this league, the way he can shoot, the way he can score. He's earned that on the court, but that's still not enough to beat the Golden State Warriors. And that's without KD. That's without Boogie. It's not enough. It's just not enough. So do I think he's a top 5 shooting guard in the league? Yes, I think so. But is it enough to beat the Golden State Warriors? God damn it. No. The recognition of him being a top 5 point guard or shooting guard in the NBA is not enough for the team to get over the hump. They still got missing pieces. They still got missing talent. They still got missing things going on to get over the hump. And we saw that in game 1. Portland kind of outshot themselves, We don't know if that's going to be the case in game 2. But we going to see. It's got to happen tonight. Western Conference Finals. And I would want to say that CJ McCollum is not a top 5 shooting guard in the NBA if they lose the series, which I think they will. I don't think there's a team left in the main NBA playoff that beats the Golden State Warriors, and that's without KD. And this is all I'm saying. CJ is like that. He's earned what he has earned. He came into the NBA out of the high. He was getting, those coaches' decisions, those DNPs. Worked his behind off. Gotta give it to him. But is it enough to win this series? You can have the title of top 5, but winning the series is where it's going to come down to. And that's where the problem with the Golden State Warriors is going to come to. Now, Label Junkie said, "What's up, Fred? This PJ. Oh, I got you, PJ. If Portland had their big man, this would potentially be more competitive series." PJ, I agree. I definitely agree. If Portland had their big man, this could be a more competitive series. I think their big man is actually better than Clint Capella. The way he plays in their system. I definitely 100% agree with that. I think they had their big man. They would be a must-contending series. They'll play a whole lot more better. They have a little more flow. Now, Zach Collins is coming up big for them. Zach Collins, he only played 1 year at Gonzaga. He's coming in. He's stepping up real big for them. But if they had their big man, it will go a longer way. But with the Portland Trail Blazers missing a wing. They're missing a guy. Evan Turner is just not doing it. He's not doing it for me. I'm sorry. I like Evan Turner. I liked it when he came out of Ohio State. I think he's worked real hard on his game. I think Evan Turner is a poor man's Andre Iguodala. He's not as athletic as Andre Iguodala. He's a good professional, good pro, but he's just not enough. He has no athleticism at this level. I agree. Like I said, PJ, he's better than Capella for what he does for the team. He is. He's better. What he does for Portland, I agree. If they had their big man, Portland could be making a different discussion. I think if Portland had their big man, I don't think they would have played in a 7-game series. Twice now. I think they would have won their series respectively within 6. That's how good I think their big man is. But if it was the 5th, we all be drawn. He ain't there. So that's kind of how I look at that. He need, next year when he gets there, but they still missing the wing. They still need somebody out in their team who can guard the wing, be able to guard certain players, and also be able to score 15 to 16 points at that position. That's just me speaking. But, all that being said, Portland should still try to. I gotta see this series go 6 games. They gotta steal a game in Oracle. I believe Golden State is going to win one on their floor. The question is, can Portland win one in Golden State? That's just me. That's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. That's just how I view it. Like I said, I'm more in tune. I'll probably watch that series tonight. It's CJ McCollum, top 5 SG in the NBA. He's earned it. But it just don't stop from there. You got to go forward. But listen, guys, I'm going to take my last break. Y'all stay locked in. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sport. When I get back, I want to talk a little pro football. I want to talk Patrick Peterson. I'm going to wrap up this show, y'all. Stay tuned. Stay locked in. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. Again, we're live on YouTube right now. Get chimed in.
Boy, Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayoU15.
Listen, this your boy Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFred Jones.
This is Jeremiah Great, man, with GSportz. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Great, A.K.A, and on Twitter, G_paid in full 08.
Pay me the money. money.
New year, new show. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I'm coming back at you with the new year of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. And this year, we're moving to Monday night with brand new exciting guests and engaging literary conversation. And we want our listening audience to be there with us because this is going to be a year you will not forget. Catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m., right here on the New Orleans Talk Network. And you can also reach us on the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page, the Meet the World Image Solutions YouTube page, and we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. So catch us every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide.
Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. Listen, New Orleans Talk Network. Listen, we're live on YouTube right now. Go to New Orleans Talk Network on YouTube, and you will see this page. You will tune in and get locked in and leave your comments. Again, it's one of the best fan sports shows on the internet. Like again, right now we're live on YouTube on the New Orleans Talk Network FanView page. Here's the deal. So NFL news, obviously, Patrick Peterson was marked as suspended today by the NFL for substance abuse. I don't have much details on actually what the substance abuse was, but it is a 6-game suspension for the performance enhanced policy, which is the PED policy. Patrick Peterson is one of the better corners that we've seen play in the NFL. People don't know he's been drafted. He's played all games for the Arizona Cardinals, since being drafted. He played 128 games. 8-time Pro Bowl of the position. Freak of nature when you're looking at athleticism, you're looking at the way he plays the game in the corner. He's third since 2011 in interceptions, with 23. Number one leading the list is Richard Sherman with 32. Behind him is Reggie Nelson. Man, listen, I was a big advocate for my New Orleans Saints trying to trade for Patrick Peterson, especially by the trade deadline last year. But still a heck of a player, still a heck of a talent, still definitely a dominant force in the NFL. But Patrick Peterson got 2 years left on his contract, and the question is, how much left does Patrick Peterson have in the tank? This suspension it's not a big deal when you look at the grand scheme of things when it comes to football. But when you're looking at a guy who's an 8th-year veteran who gets suspended for PEDs, the question I have as a fan is, what particular prescribed drugs or non-prescribed drugs that he's taking to stay in a certain conditioning, to stay at an elite level? At some point in time, you just get old. Father time is undefeated. You become an older player, and you don't really. The team drafted a corner this year, Byron Murphy out of Washington. 6 games is going to be a lot of games for a guy who is an older player. At $11 million, when you're looking at the cap space and you're looking at Patrick Peterson, and the Cardinals are just going in a different direction. The Cardinals are just a much younger team. Only got $6 million in cap space. Man, I thought the Cardinals was looking to make a deal for Patrick Peterson, but it's gonna be hard to make a deal for a guy. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. You got a cap space of $11 million. The Cardinals can actually release Patrick Peterson after the June 1st cuts. Now, keep that in mind, folks. I know a lot of people saying release Patrick Peterson. They say if they cut Patrick Peterson after June 1st, $11.2 million. They can't find a trade partner. This just may be enough for the Arizona Cardinals to say, man, listen, we love what you did. We love what you did for the community. We love what you have embodied for the organization, but this is the business. The Cardinals save $11.2 million. They cut Patrick Peterson after June 1st. He's not available for you the first 6 games. You drafted Kyler first overall. You're starting over and rebuilding from scratch. Don't be surprised if you see this happen after June 1st. The Arizona Cardinals cut Patrick Peterson. They're not going to find a trade partner when the guy has a 6-game suspension. And they got 2 more years left on this deal. I'm not going to be surprised if this happens. The 8th-time Pro Bowler could be cut after June 1st. He's already been reported being upset with the team, upset with the organization. I don't buy too much into him not being at camps. At these mini camps, they're voluntary. He's a veteran player. I'm not going to ask the 8-time pro to show up to some voluntary mini camps, but he has not been quite fine with the organization. And I think right now the Arizona Cardinals are back into a position. What do you do with a guy of that talent? What do you do with a guy of that caliber? What do you do with a guy of that urgency? What do you do? Don't be surprised if the Arizona Cardinals make a decision. If it happens, they're not going to be like the Jets. Just do it at a random day. It'll probably be after June 1st. You heard it here first. The Cardinals can make a big decision in releasing Patrick Peterson. And I think the decision will be mutual. I think a team will sign Patrick Peterson and they'll wait. They'll sit out 6 games because at the end of the day, they won't owe him any money. Again, the Arizona Cardinals save $11.2 million if released after June 1st. I think that could be very well on the horizon for them, if that's the case. That's just me speaking. That's just when I look at the game. I look at the game of football. I always look at the game of football from a business perspective at the pro level. At the NFL level, contracts matter. And the dividends on a contract matters. It just does. I don't think the Arizona the Cardinals see themselves as a team that's going to contend for a Super Bowl or possibly even a playoff push. They're going to know that by week 12 if they think they're in the playoffs or not. But right now, going into the season, they're just trying to play hard. You got a whole new rookie quarterback coming in here, a rookie head coach. You got somebody upset with the organization. The first thing they do, they look at the money. They look at the contracts. See if the contract pays dividends. You got a 6-game suspension. Take the name off the table for a second. It's Patrick Peterson. Look what he did for the Cardinals organization. Look what he's been for the community of Arizona. Get off the table. He's an 8-year veteran. That's due $11 million. And after June 1st, he's due $11.8 million. And after June 1st, you get to save 11.2 of it. And you drafted a corner in the 2nd round of the NFL draft. See it that way. You get to see it that way. Now you get to look at the game and say, you know what? Hey, might get cut. Might get released. But they're not going to find a trade partner now for Patrick Peterson in that contract with 6-game suspension waiting for him. That's just me. PJ says, man, the Browns will pick him up. I don't disagree with that. He also says people get so caught up with favorite players and favorite teams, but at the end of the day, it's a business. It would not surprise me if they cut him. Again, PJ, I'm 100% with you. It wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals cut Patrick Peterson. You save $11.2 million after June 1st. You don't have to pay out $11.8 for an 8-year corner. You just drafted a corner. The Cardinals are not thinking Super Bowl or playoff or winning this division. They still got the Rams and the Seahawks to deal with. And then you also got to think about the fact that Kyle Shanahan gets a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo back. They got enough ahead of them. To have a guy inside the organization who's been here 8 seasons, in the 8th season, it's maybe not okay with the direction of the organization and maybe not okay with the direction where his career is going with this team because he may want to contend and play for possibly something more. Not going to be surprised if they decide to make a decision. Gets released. just know if you heard that, man, Patrick Peterson, man, that guy, that boy Fred said it first. Definitely be released. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. Wouldn't be surprised one bit that he's out of the organization and he's been released and terminated for duties. Listen, guys, listen. That's gonna be the show. Y'all stay locked in, stay tuned in. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports, be back here next Thursday. You know, I know a lot of spring football is going on right now, so that's why my co-hosts are not in studio with me tonight. But hopefully, spring football will be coming to a close sometime soon. But listen, that's gonna be my show. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. Listen, subscribe to the New Orleans Talk Network page on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, get subscribed. Subscribe to the page, New Orleans Talk, FanView Live. If you're on YouTube, also get locked in. I'm always posting up a video about some controversy, about some mess. That's what I like to do all the time. But listen, guys, that's the show. FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports, New Orleans Talk Network. Again, be back next week, next Thursday. We're going to have a lot more to talk about in sports. Y'all have a good night, man.
What's up, everybody? This is boy Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayo15.
Listen, this is your boy Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFredJones.
This is Jeremiah Great, man, with GSportz.